Hey everyone, welcome to the first ever episode of Myth Talk. We're going to be starting it out with a myth that I'm very interested in, and that is werewolves, and which is a mythological or folkloric human with ability to shapeshift into a wolf, especially in modern film, either purposely or after being placed under a curse or application. Often a bite or scratch from another werewolf is the reason why they can turn into one. The werewolf is a widespread concept in European folklore, existing in many variants or versions, which are related by a common development of Christian interpretation of underlying European folklore, developing during the medieval period from the early modern period. Werewolf beliefs also spread into the New World with colonialism. Belief in werewolves developed in parallel to the belief in witches in which of the late Middle Ages and the early modern period. Like the witchcraft trials as a whole, the trial of supposed werewolves emerged in what is now Switzerland. The prosecution of werewolves and the associated folklore is an integral part of the witch hunt phenomenon. During the early period, accusations of werewolves were mixed with accusations of wolf riding or wolf charming. The case of Peter Stump of 1589 led to a significant peak in both interest in and persecution of supposed werewolves, primarily in French-speaking and German-speaking Europe. The phenomenon pursued longest in Bavaria and Austria, with persecution of wolf charmers recorded until well after 1650. The final cases took place in early 18th century in Styria and Cathinthia. The regions in which werewolves are supposed to be have lived: the Americas or North and South America, Europe, Asia, and Africa. Various methods have been said to how you can become a werewolf, but more commonly in like movies and such, it's said that you must be either bitten by a werewolf or scratched by a werewolf to become a werewolf. Various methods also existed for removing the werewolf form. It is believed in the power of exhaustion in curing people of werewolf. The victim could be subjected to long periods of physical activity in the hope to being purged of the malady. This practice stemmed from the fact that many alleged werewolves would be left feeling weak and debilitated after committing depredations. However, in medieval Europe, traditionally there are three methods one can use to cure a victim of werewolfism. Medicinality, usually via the use of wolfsbane, surgically or by exorcism. However, many other cures advocated by medieval medical practitioners provided fatal to the patients. Here are some movies listed here that have or have known to have werewolves in the movies, such as Dog Soldiers of 2002, The Howling, An American Werewolf in London, Ginger Snaps, Bad Moon, The Wolfman, the Company of Wolves, the Underworld, Super Bullet or Silver Bullet, Wolf, Curse of the Werewolf, Ginger Snaps 2, Cursed, among others. Now I thought I would share some supposed real-life sightings of werewolves. Here's one in particular, a shape-shifting werewolf of Texas. Mrs. Delbert Gregg of Greggston, Texas, told of an encounter with a shape-shifting creature in the 1960 issue of Fate. The other surveyed sightings below are of creature that looked like man-wolves, but no one had seen one becoming another. Mrs. Gregg had not seen a man turning into a wolf, but she has actually came closer than anyone else in telling a tale that sounds like a chapter of a werewolf novel that a real-life experience. Mrs. Gregg said that one night in 1958, when her husband was on a business trip, she moved her bed close to a screen window, hoping to catch some cool breeze from a thunderstorm brewing on the southwestern horizon. She heard a scratching sound from the window shortly after she fell asleep. In a flash of a lightning, she saw a huge, shaggy, wolf-like creature clawing at the screen and staring at her with baleful, glowing, slitted eyes. She saw it bearing white fangs. The creature fled from the yard into a clump of bushes as she leaped from her bed to grab a flashlight. Mrs. Gregg said, I watched for the animal to come out of the bushes, but after a short time, instead of a great shaggy wolf running out, a figure of an extremely tall man suddenly parted the thick foliage and walked hurriedly down the road, disappearing into the darkness. Another werewolf sighting stated that it was reported in New Mexico, Fort Gallup, New Mexico to be exact. Youths allegedly encounter a werewolf along the side of a road near White Water one day in January 1970. One witness reported it was about 5 feet 7 and it was surprised it could go so fast. At first I thought my friends were playing a joke on me, but when I found out they weren't, I was scared. We rolled up the windows real fast and locked the doors of the cars. I started driving faster, about 60, but it was hard because the highway had a lot of sharp turns. Someone finally got a gun out and shot it. I knew it got hit and fell down, but there was no blood. I knew it couldn't be a person because people couldn't move that fast. In the fall of 1973, western Pennsylvania played host to dozens of reports of strange ape-like creatures sometimes seen in association with UFOs, said to have, in one witness's words, fire-red eyes that glow in darkness, to be 7 to 8 feet tall and gives a strong, unpleasant odor. Another type of creature investigator Stan Gordon noted was said to be between 5 to 6 feet tall. It was described as looking like an extremely muscular man with a covered of thick dark hair, Again, in these reports, the arms were very long and hung down past the knees. The creature appeared to have superior agility exceeding that of a deer. From footprints discovered, the stride of creatures vary between 52 to 57 inches. In these reports, there were no indications of odor. So werewolves always kind of interested me. So I hope you guys learned something new about werewolves, and I hope you guys liked the first episode of Myth Talk. If you guys did, make sure you guys give this a like on YouTube and Facebook, and subscribe so you never miss another episode of Myth Talk. Next week, I'll be talking about the Kraken, but as always, you guys can comment below on YouTube and Facebook any type of mythological creature and that you would like me to talk about in the future references. But all the information from this video came from Wikipedia or hellhorror.com. And so, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Peace. And make sure you guys subscribe to my YouTube channel. It means a lot. Peace.